Hi guys, welcome to the Champion Club Best of the Best Cluster Duo Advanced Guide. We'll be sharing with you the new Cluster Duo system in Delirium Power Exalt. Cluster Duos can be obtained from the Delirium mechanic by interacting with it. You have a chance to drop Cluster Duos. Some Cluster Duos that can be dropped are small Cluster Duos, medium Cluster Duos, large Cluster Duos, as well as unique Cluster Duos. Firstly, we'll be talking about Cluster Duos. Cluster Duos, you are able to get from 8 to 12 passive skills. You can get up to 3 notable passives and also 2 dual sockets. The lower the amount of passive is usually the best because you don't have to spend that much points in order to get those notable passives that you want. For medium Cluster Duos, you're able to get 4 up to 6 passive skills, 2 notable passives, 1 dual socket, and also 1 ideal passive boost in 1 duo. For small Cluster Duo, you're able to get 2 to 3 passive skills, 1 notable passive, and an ideal small passive boost in 1 duo. So now, let's move on to crafting a Cluster Duo by yourself. Either you get one from a Delirium encounter drop, or you buy one from other players. They are relatively cheap, no problemo. Crafting with Chaos Orb and Alchemy, hell nah, get that shit out of here. Let me teach you the best way to make a godlike Cluster Duo. Firstly, Transmutation Orb to make the base into a magic base. Then after you make it into a magic base, you can Alteration Spam until we actually hit a notable passive that we want, or just something that we want in general for the Cluster Duo. If you use Alteration until you get something that you want and there's only one mod on the item, go ahead and use Augmentation of Orb and augment the item. After you augmentation the item, if you manage to get something decent, for example a notable passive with like a jewel slot or just something that you actually want, go ahead and Raja the item and actually pray to Jesus that you get something good, either 2 notable passives that you want with a jewel socket or just something good. Go ahead and scour the item if you're unlucky. Omega lol, omega lol, omega lol. If you are super rich in Power Exile, after using a Raja Orb and get something decent with only 3 mods and with an open modifier for the Cluster Duo, and you have a lot of Exalted Orb lying around, this is for you. Slam the Exalted Orb and hope that you get something good, a notable passive or an extra jewel socket. So now that we're done with the crafting of Cluster Duo, let's talk about PoEDB. It's one of my favorite sites for checking out things in Power Exile, and you can see there's a lot of modifiers that it shows. For example, the mods that you can get from each Cluster Duo that are specific. For example, physical damage, you can get a list of mods that you can get, and it actually shows the weight. The higher the number of the weight, the easier it is to get, and the lower the number it is, the harder it is to get. Doesn't mean that the harder it is to get, the stronger the passive is. Different builds requires different things, and you should check what you need. So just some last few advanced tips for the Cluster Duos. Item level doesn't actually affect the notable passive. All of them just requires level 1. You are able to hit equally chance to hit something that you want for the notable passive, and they all have the same amount of modifiers to it. Item level doesn't really affect, but the only thing that the item level affects for the Cluster Duo is, for example, small passive boosts, right? Like flat life, for example, some nodes that give flat HP or flat energy shield or resistance. Item level does affect a little bit. For example, higher level ones you're able to get maybe like 4 to 5%, lower level ones maybe at most 3%. So lastly, something to know is that Cluster Duos can only be placed in descending order in terms of size. So you can put in a medium one first, then followed by a small, or you can put in a large one, then medium, then small. You cannot put in a small or medium first, then put in a large. You're unable to do that. And also, for all those jewel slots that you get from the Cluster Duo, you're also able to put in normal jewels that are not Cluster Duos. So this means they are extremely powerful, and I feel that every build should at least get one branch of cluster jewels. They give so much powerful effects for little points, and also the jewel sockets are basically 1 point for a huge boost in terms of damage and survivability. If you guys enjoy this cluster jewel advanced guide, if I miss out anything, do let me know. Wanna ask me any question, you can comment down below or check out my stream. I stream pretty much daily. I make content quite often. This is my first time making such content. If you actually enjoy, remember to give me a thumbs up, or also comment on it as well if you really like it.